a short routine I wanted to share for our challenge this week in our community. And again, it's best if you do this after doing some of the smart moves or maybe after going on a walk, something that really gets the energy circulating deep into your hips and your knees and your ankles. So this maybe takes 10 minutes, or you can stretch it out and do it longer or cut it a little bit and do it shorter. But let's do this one for a week in a row. And I recommend doing it in the afternoon or the evening, or again after your Qigong workout, because the energy starts to circulate more and more and go deeper during your day. So, what I've found in my routine lately is that I'll do more beginning the day with a meditation, going into some movement, and then in the latter part of the day, doing more stretching. So, let's start. So, we'll kick out one leg, pull in the other. This is my favorite go to stretch, the first stretch of my routine. So you just kind of wiggle and jiggle your body, finding a comfortable place to settle and sinking in. And again, don't be afraid to rock your body a little bit so your joints find a good place to sink and settle. And as you're stretching, you want to keep your shoulders and your chest relaxed. And what I love about even stretching in Qigong is that you keep in mind some of the principles from the brocades. And one of the principles I always maintain when I'm doing my stretching is the separating heaven and earth. And so if you remember, that's the third brocade. And so basically, when you're breathing in, you can imagine the root of your spine sinking and the crown stretching. So you imagine your vertebrae decompressing, and then as you breathe out, you feel them just kind of shrink in back towards each other again. But that's part of Qigong, is always integrating that mindfulness of your body, so the movement or the posture you're holding, also the mindfulness of your breathing, and then also it's really mindfulness of energy, or visualizing or intending your energy, like with separating heaven and earth, is when you breathe in, that spinal column gently stretches. As you breathe out, it compresses again, just gently back. All right, now we're going to switch. So we'll pull in. This is, if I'm your mirror, we're kicking out our right foot now. So you just switch. And then sink in again. Wiggle and jiggle a bit till you find a good place to settle. Shoulders and chest relaxed. And feel your breathing. And generally, too, with the breath, in stretching exercises, you'll want to breathe in and out through your nose, so your mouth's closed. And not all the time. You take one of those real big, deep breaths. Sometimes you want to just breathe out through your mouth. Feel the stretch. Tune into your body. Shoulders and chest relaxed. I lost an earbud. Okay, it's back. All right, and now we'll come up. So this next one, your feet together. There's a couple of ways to do this one. Generally, you'll just start with holding your feet. Butterfly exercise, you can bounce your knees up and down. And I like to do the stretches in this particular sequence I'm showing you. This one's really good to stretch the inside of the legs, and so it's a good precursor to our next one, bouncing the knees up and down. And with this one, personally, I like to put my hands behind my back and push my upper body up, and then hold the stretch there and wiggle and jiggle a little bit. and continue to try to draw the breath down into the belly, just letting everything sink and settle. Sometimes I remember we'd have people stand on our knees, on our back. So I don't really recommend that, but it's kind of fun. If you have a trusting stretching partner, they can put their hands on your shoulders and 1 foot at a time, and it just helps to deepen that stretch and sink your knees down to the floor. All right, and then stretch both feet out. And with this one, there's lots of good ways to kind of encourage this stretch without having to just hold it in one posture. So I like to just go down to one side and stretch for a breath or two. Feeling from the hips to the heels, drawing the breath to the abdomen, shoulders and chest relaxed, and switch from side to side. And again, let's do this for a week in a row, just a little bit. You don't need to stretch for a half an hour. Just try to go through this routine. Take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just do each one, because each one supports the other. And you'll find during the springtime, this is one of the best practices. We'll build our flexibility. That wood element really needs flexibility and resilience. And also mentioning, I've got my next 5-element sync coming up on this Thursday. Let's see, that's the 14th. And I would love it if you could join me. I'm going to be talking about the wood element and exercises we can do and the different values and principles of the wood element that are important to keep in mind. Okay, and then you can do this one right down the middle. Walk the hands forward. Bouncing is always good to combine, and tapping too. If you put your thumbs in your fist, tapping the inside of your legs. Massaging your thighs, massaging your knees. Tapping all around. And just going back and forth into stretching, tapping, bouncing. Not ever forcing the stretch. Okay, and then the last one in the routine, just a simple forward bend, your feet together. This one I've shared a lot too, with different ways to just kind of stay comfortable in the stretch. I'm not a big fan of just holding the stretch and reaching as hard as you can for the whole time. A couple of things with this one, the toe tapping is really, really helpful because it gets the energy flowing from the hips to the feet and it loosens up your hip joints. So that's one thing you can throw in there just to loosen things up. Also just bouncing the knees keeps the energy flowing. That's where the chi gets stuck most of the time, is in your joints. So if you have tools to get that energy flowing and circulating, tap those knees against the mat. All right, and then the other one, just shaking your hips, shimmying your hips. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Shake your hips. And then again with that breath, imagining your spinal column expanding. Shoulders and chest relaxed. And then, of course, you can always hold the posture still. And just sink into the movement, sink into the posture. Shoulders and chest relaxed. Just a little bit, day by day. Okay, sit up and sweep down your legs. So remember too, with this challenge, make sure to refer back to the whole class that we just did. So that'll be from Monday, March 11th, because it's really helpful to stretch after you've done some of those warm-up exercises. And then let's practice this for a week and see how you feel. And then we'll have class again next Monday. Thank you so much for joining me and have a wonderful day.